Alright, what's up, guys? So, idubbbz has uploaded a video titled I Miss the Old idubbbz. So yeah, I think this was an apology video that he did where he's kinda, just I wouldn't necessarily say, well, I don't know, maybe he is feeling bad. I don't know. I'll just have to see when I eventually watch the video, but the thing is this that I can say though is that I do feel like that with a lot of content creators that we have uploaded content that we're not so proud of, and that's the thing where it's like if it, when it does get to that point in time where we do feel bad, we apologize, and just go forward in life, it's like, bruh, I think that that's like the best thing for you. Yeah, like apologize for the stuff that you've done, and then you move on and you just continue being a content creator. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. There probably are some creators out there where they've done some crazy things. I mean, I feel like like that's all of us. Like we've either have said or have done some crazy things, and we just got to move on. And yeah, it's like just know not to do that stuff anymore, because that's one thing that's like we need to understand. Like us as creators, it's like we got kids out there, I guess, that's watching us. But even if it ain't kids, like, and even if it's somebody just trying to find some sort of guidance, it's like I don't want to steer people in the wrong direction, So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you have to, like, just speaking like creator to creators, it's like you guys gotta set like a better example. And yeah, just be one of those guys where it's like people can say that, like, oh, like idubbbz or whoever, they put me in a much more better life situation, just trying to be in that same footsteps as them and stuff. But I here's the thing about that though, it's like, follow in somebody's footsteps, like that's cool, that's chill, but you gotta do things your own way. So it's like, yeah, do the things that they're doing. So like, yeah, if you want to be a content creator like idubbbz, then it's like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's fine, but it's like, do it in your own fashion. So, but anyways,
for a while I felt like if I changed my content over time, that people would see that as a reflection of who I am and what I value. But I'm starting to realize that that is a very weak and passive way to, run my channel and live my life. So I think it's, if I'm going to have the balls to go to Tana's fan meetup and say slurs at her and then make a video about how it's okay to say slurs, I think I should have the balls to make an apology video and take accountability for the mistakes I've made. So that's what this video is.
So for those that don't know of that situation, because I don't know if you guys like be watching idubbbz like that or not, but yeah, so he went to that YouTuber like Tana, like I cannot pronounce that woman's last name to save my life. So, but she had like this meetup thing, or it was either some like sort of content creating meetup, but yeah, he was getting ready to take a picture with her, and then he was like, I think he was like, oh, let's say the N-word. And yeah, she got like freaked out, and then yeah, it just led into some crazy stuff. But no, like it's because I know people probably would ask me like, how do I feel about that? How did I feel about that? And I was like, I wasn't really watching idubbbz like that, to I guess have like a say so. Like I've had it so many different times where people have called me the N-word, and just on some dumb stuff like this, just me existing, So it's something where I'm like, I didn't really care, because I'm like, I'm not gonna lose any sleep at night. I'm like, bro, I have people literally calling me the N-word, to me. Like, they ain't just saying it, just to say it. But yeah, I've had people say that stuff to me. So how do I guess I feel about it now? I still don't care. It's something where I'm like, I don't encourage it, but at the same time, I'm like, if that's what you say, then I'm like, bruh, just be prepared for like when you have to face some like hard consequences behind that stuff. Like, cause no, that's something that I have told people when it's like they come to me being all racist. I'm like, you go to a black neighborhood and you talk like that. Like I'll never forget a guy called me a monkey on Twitter, and and I was like, I think he lived in New York or something. And I was like, bro, go to like Harlem or Brooklyn, you know, go to like a area. Where was that area? I can't think of the name, like Bed-Stuy or something like that. There was like I just remember hearing of that area and Everybody Hates Chris. But I'm like, you go to that area, but you know, like just go to an area where you're gonna see a lot of the black people and stuff. And I guarantee and I promise you, if you go up to one of them talking about like, oh, you're a monkey and it's okay for me to say that, yeah, you're gonna find yourself like waking up like a year later in the hospital and they're like, yeah, you was in a coma, like you got beat pretty bad, all right. So, but anyways,
I need to be crystal clear about what I believe, so there's no room for ambiguity. I am responsible for creating a lot of hurtful and damaging content on this channel. And I've also created a culture of apathy and, I don't know, a lot of like cruelty as well. Like, you know, some of the videos I've made have been very, not edgy. I don't think they you know, some of these videos were edgy. I think they were just outright cruel. So I don't want people to, you know, get it confused about, you know, where I stand. I have made some cruel, hurtful content, and I need to acknowledge that, and I'm really sorry that it's taken me this long to acknowledge it. The content I'm talking about specifically are content cop videos and videos where I was just generally criticizing people for very lackluster reasons, and you know, obviously didn't have any accountability online whatsoever on my end. I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I am any better than any of these people that I was making content cop videos on, and I'm not. I'm a human. I'm a real human who makes mistakes, and you know, I make a different set of mistakes than the people I was making videos on, but it doesn't matter. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate. It's also indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave, and it's not. It's super irresponsible and shitty. I am very insecure about my ability to create interesting content or like entertain. It's gotten better over the years, but it's something that I have struggled with constantly, and it's one of the reasons why I, you know, kept making this hurtful content. You know, I
get it. You know, it's like it generates the views, it generates the attention. And we do live in an environment, especially with content creating, where it's like you want to like continue receiving that attention. And even like there's been times where I've reacted to videos and they'll do so well for my channel, or even like other types of videos and they'll do well for those channels. And I'm like, I just don't want to be known as that guy. Like I could think back. I remember, back in 2015, 2016, I was reacting to McJuggernuggets and those guys a lot, and I just didn't want to be known as that guy that reacted to, you know, those guys a lot and any other, you know, content creator. So it's like I want to be known for like all the content that I do, not just some of it. And it like that's like the hard reality of like content creating. You know, I don't encourage people, but like that's the thing though, where it's like you always, I feel like as a content creator you have to have control over who you are and what you display like in content creating. Because no, I mean, like there's been times like where I have reacted, like for an example, I could think back, there's a time where one of my friends, she does like commentary style videos, and shout out to Hot Tea. But anyways, she does like these commentary style videos where she's just talking on like the news and all that stuff that's going on. So if anything, it's like news videos. But like no, like the guy, I think he must have subscribed to me for like one of my other types of videos, but he didn't like the fact that I was reacting to her videos, because he was like, oh, T channels are bad and stuff. And my thing is this, I'm like, look, however you feel about that particular type of content, that's on you. This is my friend. This is somebody that I support. This is somebody where I'm like, I would love to like meet them and just, you know, just sit down and just chill with them, you know, like, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't continue supporting my channel because of the one. So like, that's something where I'm like, I just think that like people need to understand like the power that you have as a creator. And, you know, people need to understand it's like, there's a respect that you have to have towards that creator. Then on some stuff where it's like, I have to earn your respect. No, you just be respectful to a person's place of business, channel, house, domain, whatever it is. period. It's like people, the times where I've said that, where it's like people need to be more respectful towards us, and they're like, you gotta earn my respect, and I'm like, no, you came to my place of business, I don't have to earn anything. And so it's like it's just it's weird. So yeah, it's just, there's people out there where it's like they let this content creating stuff like really get to them, whether they're a fan or a creator, but it's like they just really let this stuff get to them. And it sucks, man. I'm like, it's like content creating should be a place about having fun, whether it's like you're playing games, making music, reacting, talking about like whatever is going on in the world, but it's like a place where you could just be yourself. And as soon as you lose that, it's like, bruh, it's like content creating, it ain't even fun. So
ended up pivoting it into other things because I felt bad about it, like innately, but it's still something that I struggle with, and I don't want you to interpret that as an excuse, but I hope that that is relatable to other creators who maybe struggle with the same thing. I'm not confident in my ability to entertain, and I think if I had to rely on my personality to entertain people, that I wouldn't have any amount of success. And
that's one thing that I will say about him. It's like, despite like the content that he previously had put out and stuff, idubbbz comes off as a person where he's like well, I mean, yeah, he's a content creator and things, but like how I like to look at content creators is that you're capable of doing so much. You just don't realize it, but like, no, idubbbz is capable of doing whatever he wants to do, whether it's gaming content, whether it's, content the style that he was doing before. But if obviously, you want to do it in a much more positive fashion. But no, idubbbz, in my opinion, he's that guy where he's the director, he's the writer, he's the producer, he's the actor. He's that guy where it's like, no, you are entertainment. It's like, yeah, it's hard, because like, yeah, it's it's like it's hard as like a creator to be a content creator, but at the same time, it's like you are capable of it. Do not short self your like how's it look? It's like, what time is it? It's like 2 a.m. It's close to being 2 a.m. I can't really find all the words, but it's like, overall, the point that I'm trying to make is like, you are capable of so much more, bro. Don't ever sell yourself short. All right, there we go. Those are the words. But anyways,
that is really hard to come to terms with. I was being very bigoted in a lot of my videos, and I justified it because I didn't think it was too serious, and I thought that people were going to see that I had good intentions, but that's so silly. Casual racism is still racism, casual bigotry is still bigotry. And I said a lot of things that I look back at and I cringe now, and I'm like, that is an awful thing to say. It doesn't matter what my intentions are. Like, if I'm hurting people, I'm hurting people. And
it takes a lot of guts to admit stuff like that. Like, there's people that I've seen when it comes to content creating where, no, they have said and done stuff to hurt people. And when you have like that content creator themselves and the fans, and they're literally arguing on like the hurtful stuff that they've said, I'm not saying that I've been hurt by it, but it's like, I know that there would be people out there that would watch that stuff and they hurt by it, and they think, oh, well, this friend said that they wasn't hurt by it, or this person said they wasn't hurt. You thinking you going based off of what they're saying, and it's like, nah, it don't work like that. You can't assume like, oh, they speak for everybody. No, they don't. So yeah, it's like, the thing is this, like, it's funny because when I tell people, especially like with the racism that I've endured when it comes to content creating, when I'll talk about that stuff like in a video, and you'll have like that one comment where they all like, get over it, it's all like, that's the internet. But then when you tell people like outside the internet, like I've told like my family about some of the comments that I've gotten. I've told coworkers at my coworkers and customers at my old job, like the comments that I got. And even there's this book writer, she contacted me for an interview, and even like I still remember like the last like crazy racist comment that I got, where a guy like all within 2 comments called me the N-word and then told me that I deserved to be hanged. And it's stuff where it's like, bro, I got you that mad over some YouTube stuff? Like, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But I'm like, again, like, you know, like with some people to say like it is the internet, but I'm like, it shouldn't be like that though, you know. So like it takes a lot of guts for him to come out and admit his wrongs and admit, you know, his wrongdoings and, you know, apologize for that stuff. So that's why like I've taken over respecting towards idubbbz, because I'm like, for doing stuff like this, more people need to do stuff like this.
You know, who the fuck knows what my intentions are? Like, sarcasm and like jokiness and jokey tone only goes so far, especially over the internet. Even in real life, that's like an impossible thing to know with 100% certainty. I've just always had this dumb philosophy that I'm not responsible for, you know, my audience and how they behave beyond what content I put out.
See, that's the thing. I'm like, that's a killer right there. It's like, no, it's like we are. I sat down, I started thinking about that some time ago, where I'm like, you know, I mean, I think it's always been like that, you know. Like when I came into the content creating business, my intentions were to just entertain people with whatever I'm doing, whether it's comedy or gaming, whatever. It's like, you know, but that's the thing though, where it's like an audience can be easily entertained. So it's like you never really know. Like that's why a lot of times I just be kind of like testing out the waters with different content, whether it's like something gaming related or just me just sitting down, just kind of just talking about random stuff. But yeah, it's like an audience is easily entertained, but like they can be easily persuaded. I'm like, trust me, I've seen it. And yeah, it's something where it's like people need to understand that. They need to realize that. It's like, you know, when you go out and you say some things or do some things, your audience literally echoes that stuff onto wherever they possibly can. And guess what? Like it's kind of like in them like old like cop shows and, you know, whatever, where it's like they got like that bulletin board and then they start with like the, you know, like the smaller drug dealer, then they work their way up to like the lieutenant of like the, you know, the drug business, and then they work their way up to the kingpin, and then that's how the episode ends and stuff. But yeah, it's like it, you know, it goes from like, all right, that comment to, all right, who does this YouTuber or who does this person watch? And then they're like, oh, okay, they watch this guy, then that. So yeah, it's like, it's one of those things. It's like, bro, it's gonna come back to haunt you. It's like, just always know that. So karma makes its way around.
And that's stupid, and it's led to a lot of hate and a lot of bad outcomes. And I just want to make it clear that I am absolutely responsible for my audience. And you know, I guess if you want to, you know, look out for people who are red flags, it's definitely people who had my mentality that say I'm not responsible for what my audience does. I know that this
I've heard that before. And that's the thing, where it's like when people, like, I can think back like when I was dealing with some stuff and I brought that up. I was all like, fam, like, you know, I don't think you realize like the effect that it has. Like if it's like, if I'm sitting here getting all this hate and all this like, you know, racist comments and all this other crazy crap, and you talk about you're not responsible, I'm like, well then who is? Like it's like, I'm not even like saying that to argue with him. It's like, you know, I know what this video is, so there ain't gonna be no argument or anything. But it's like, to the people out there that still got that mentality, then it's like, then who is? You know, it's like people be so quick to like go out and say some stuff and do some stuff. Then when they get called out, then they're like, well, I don't want to take the blame. And it's like, no, you putting yourself out there. It's like, my thing is this: I've taken the blame for stuff that I've said and done. I'm okay with it. I moved on with my life. I don't lose no sleep at night. But I'm just saying, there's people out there where it's like they need to watch this video. So
apology isn't enough. I've clearly done a lot of damage. You know, these videos have been up for a long time and have accumulated millions of views. I shouldn't be able to just make an apology video and walk away from it. This is something that I should live the rest of my life with, and I expect to. I've profited off of this bigoted content for years, and I've made a successful career out of it, and that's not right. I think that this is only a step in the right direction, and I know that a lot more needs to be done to even approach a life that I would think would be like acceptable. I am running ads on this video, and any revenue generated from this video, I'm going to match and donate to an organization that, you know, would have been particularly affected by the type of rhetoric that I've been spewing on this channel. And again, this isn't the end of what I'm doing. This is just the start. I don't feel like a lot of this content represents me as a person, at least not anymore. There was a time where it probably perfectly represented me because I was a nasty, apathetic, insecure person. Now that I don't feel like it represents me and I want to distance myself from it and keep it from, indoctrinating more people, I'd like to unlist the videos so that people, can access them still for whatever, purposes they might want to do that for. But it's not being proliferated on the website. I feel like that's the best solution, at least for the time being. And for anyone who liked those videos, I want this video to be an example and a lesson for you. You can like content, but you can also think that it's irresponsible and it's hurting other people. So just tap into that part of your brain that's saying like, oh, okay, it's probably not that important that this video stays online, because truthfully, I've seen it, I've experienced the content, but it's done a lot of damage. We can just let it go. I'm sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on. I still don't like the majority of you, and that's fine, but I can recognize that you did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way. I particularly want to apologize to Tana. Tana, I'm sorry. I should have never made that video. I harassed Tana in person and then harassed her online, and that's deplorable behavior. It's so stupid. I'm also sorry to all the black viewers and minority groups who had to put up with that video and put up with, the phrases. I said either it's all okay or none of it's okay. And
yeah, I was like, I remember when that stuff went viral, and I can't necessarily say like I had dealt with any idubbbz fans. But yeah, it's like, you see that, then it's like, well, I mean, I don't know, like I said, I was like, I was getting like racist comments from like all angles and stuff, so it was, like, it was one of those things where I'm like, yeah, when that situation had went down with idubbbz, it was like, all right, it's whatever. I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not, it's not like I'm like new to it and things, so. But I know people probably would ask, like, are you, like, do you forgive idubbbz? Do you, like, feel a certain way towards him? And I'm like, I guess I am gonna, see, like, what other things he does after this and stuff. But it's still, the same thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie and be all like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna be an idubbbz fan, Like, I'll keep an eye out and stuff. But, yeah, it's just gonna be, the same thing where it's like, all right, like, I can't say that I'm the biggest fan and stuff, but yeah, it's just he's now on my like radar just to seeing things. But yeah, it's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I feel like I'm a very forgiving person. Like, I've had a lot worse been done to me, and I've forgiven those people with that stuff. And I'm still, just growing up and things. Like, I'm not growing up, but just more so, like, just learning more about, like, forgiving. So I guess that part of me is growing, where it's like I'm just being more forgiving and stuff. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's like, it's, it's, you can see that this man, he's changing and stuff. And, it's just, it takes, like, where it's like you kind of, like, experience some things to just be like, dang, I need to change my ways. And so that's what I think he's dealing with. But anyways.
That's just so dangerous and stupid. I have made content that I am proud of over the years. It hasn't been as consistent as maybe I'd like it to have been, but there is a lot of content that I think had a net positive on the world, and I'm going to strive to continue on that trend. But again, I'm absolutely going to continue to make mistakes, but I want the mistakes to be a lot smaller and a lot less serious. I also want to give some clarity to the post-fight speech that I gave. I mean, it wasn't a speech. It was a phrase. I was like,
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I really do appreciate the support, and, thank you for coming.
That was addressing the people over the years that I neglected and I left behind. The people whose feelings I, didn't take into consideration. Those are the people who I was addressing as, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. anyone who thinks that I should be shouting the N-word from the rooftops, I don't want to be your cup of tea. Now I want to talk about events and situations that have happened over the past 5 years of my life that have led me to the place I'm at now. One year I was at a convention and a bunch of fans were, wanting pictures, and this particular fan came up to me and said, I know you probably don't like transgender people, but can I, get a picture? That smacked me in the face. I was like, oh, holy shit. Why would you think that? But I mean, it was fairly obvious. I was being cruel, hateful, bigoted, and being very uncaring about people's feelings. That is a very fair assessment to make. I was giving this person bad vibes, and I think I've given a lot of people extremely bad vibes. Another event that was very important for me to experience was I went on a boxing podcast. I was basically like trying to walk back my Tana content cop. I was still very like insecure and uncomfortable with the fact that I made that video, and but I was still coping. You'll see me struggle in this clip to, say that it was wrong.
So I just wanted to let you talk on that, right? Because obviously using the N-word is definitely frowned upon by a lot of people, especially by a non-African American. But I was just curious.
That was a very weird video because I wanted to like criticize her for her like sort of flagrant use of it. I've been pretty flagrant about it too, not in the same way. I thought there was a message to be shared there, and I don't think it was particularly. It was okay in criticizing her, but I think I probably wasn't the person to deliver the message, if that makes sense. There was a message that I was trying to put out there, and I'm not really the person to put out that message. I don't regret making the video. I think there's bits and pieces to take from it that I think are valuable, but I probably wouldn't make it these days. I'm very grateful to those guys and how they broached the subject, because it didn't put me on the defensive. It just made me realize I'm stupid.
Yeah, it's like the thing is I don't encourage anybody to go out there and have a violent altercation with anybody. Somebody approaches you and they say the N-word towards you in a disrespectful way. It's yeah, something's wrong with that person. But yeah, there's just there's people out there where it's they feel entitled, they think they try to defend their usage, and again, just people, there's some ignorant people out there where it's that word isn't meant for you, all right? It's not, okay? It's really not meant for anybody, but because that's why I'm bro, if I can go through my videos and not say it, or just just having a conversation with somebody, not say it regardless of the color of their skin, I don't approach a friend and just saying it on some weird stuff, but if I could do it, then it's bro, other people, it's it's just that realization. It's my vocabulary is so much bigger than saying the N-word in literally every 2-3 words of a sentence. All right, so yeah, people, it's something that's not needed, but hopefully if you just don't say it, all right, that's just plain and simple, but just don't say it. But it's yeah, it's just hopefully you don't deal, if you get caught up saying it, hopefully you're not dealing with a person that's quick to try to beat you within an inch of your life, or overall try to end your life and stuff. So it could be a situation like that where it's somebody's trying to cause physical harm towards you, or they sit down and they talk with you and they trying to explain hey, bruh, saying that word ain't gonna get you nowhere in life. It's really not, especially if you're not even black, yeah, bro, it's yeah, you hear where a rapper is saying in a song and stuff, and it's yeah, that's that rapper and that's his business. You, on the other hand, a white male, should not, white male, female, whoever, it's you should not be saying that, okay? So anyways,
I really need to acknowledge these things. What am I doing? I'm still trying to make excuses for myself and why I made that video. It's it was a dumb idea. I harassed someone. I was saying slurs and I was trying to justify it all. A very big thing that has sort of altered my view on all of this is just the amount of hate and harassment my wife Anissa has received over the years. She's had to deal with it from the beginning of our relationship, and I have done a horrible job at acknowledging her and her feelings for.
You know, and yeah, to talk on that, it's like that's something that I never understood. Like I could think of times where friends of mine where they've like contacted me and be like, hey, who is this guy? Like I had one old friend of mine where they messaged me. I think I was just outside exercising, and they messaged me, and they was just like, oh, this random person followed me. And yeah, it was like they just, you know, it was like some hater, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what did that friend have anything to do with that? I'm like, they're like, I can't even post about people now, like people from my own personal life without them being. So yeah, I just think that that's like on some stuff where, and I think it wasn't too long ago where I talked on that, where it's like people, if they ain't got nothing to do with the situation, leave them out of it. It's like, that's just on stuff where I'm like, I don't get why people do things like that, where it's like, oh, this is their family, oh, let me go and message them and, you know, try to talk with them and stuff. No, you ain't got no business talking to them whatsoever. It's like, leave them be. Just leave them alone. But yeah, it's like people, they do weird stuff like that, and I'm like, you need to understand like a person's like personal space and their boundaries. It's like, you start invading into that boundary, if they have like a reaction towards you, don't trip off of it. Don't be all like, no, like, bruh, just be respectful towards those people's boundaries. All right, so anyway,
For it, a lot of the time I just thought that was her problem, or that was you know, other people's problem. Like, it's not my problem that you're getting hate and harassment. And it's like, no, it absolutely is. You know, that's the culture that I cultivated, and I, you know, didn't do anything to change that. You know, over the years it's changed a little bit, but you know, I don't think I've still fully acknowledged how responsible I am for the amount of harassment that Anissa has had to deal with. And this year, I decided to speak more candidly and be more open about who I am as a person, and to speak on my life a little bit more. And I did that on Anthony Padilla's podcast. These are the people that I'm attracting. These are the people that I'm entertaining. Like, I need to reevaluate things. They're relating and enjoying this content for a reason, and that's not maybe the same reason that I'm trying to make. I had a very Wild West mentality when it came to online behavior. Like, people are going to do what they want to do, people are going to say what they want to say, and I can pretty much do the same because it's the internet. But I think you have to be a lot more responsible. If you guys are at all interested,
it's like, I don't think a lot of people understand that, but it's like the internet for a lot of people. I know, like, speaking for myself, like, the internet is a place where I can just like kind of come to, and it's like, I can't find like the right words to, you know, to like really, but it's like a safe place. You know how like when a person, like, they just work like a freaking 10-hour shift at whatever job or something, right? And then they feel like they need to like go out in like the back alley, you know, hit on some pack of Newports and things, and then they just, you know, just kind of having like a little smoke break. This is my smoke break. This is, you know, where it's like I kind of just come here. I do, you know, whether it's streaming, TikTok, YouTube, podcasting, whatever it is, it's like, this is like my safe place. This is like my area where I'm like, okay, I could just relax, be cool, be happy, because, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, that the world, it can be a grimy place at times. I mean, even the internet, it can be a grimy place too. But I have to say, like, you know, like, for myself, I'm like I said, like, I came here to entertain people. All that extra stuff, somebody got something towards me, I'm like, hey fam, that's on you. They ain't got nothing to do with me. All right. So, but that's like not even like trying to say on some stuff like how idubbbz is saying it, but just more so like, yeah, there is hateful people out there where it's like they don't want to see me on the internet. They don't want to see me succeed. They want to like bring up my flaws. They want to, you know, say everything disrespectful, and I'm like, that type of stuff, I'm like, yeah, you keep that to yourself. I don't care for hearing it. So, but yeah, it's like, you know, it's like I come here to just, you know, kind of find my peace. All right. So, but anyways, yeah, it's like being a content creator, it's the dream, man. It's fun. I love it.
Interested in how I've arrived here, that video gives, you know, a good bit of context and talks about some of my life a little bit. There is a clip from this interview that's been floating around the internet, and it's me calling my fans antisocial and basement dwellers, and I was like, I didn't like, you know, interacting with my fans. I just want to be clear, like, that was my realization. I think a lot of people are like, of course that happened, is because you were creating that culture and you were attracting those people. And it's like, yes, I know. I know now. I didn't know before. It was my realization upon, meeting more and more fans that I was like, oh shit, you guys are struggling. It was easy for me to identify them struggling when they were outside of my body. But the antisocial basement-dwelling incel that was inside here, I couldn't acknowledge that. I couldn't recognize that. So I needed the mirror to be held up to me. In closing, I want to say that I have always thought that I was an empathetic person because I thought, well, I get angry, I get sad. Of course I got empathy. Seems easy, right? Empathy. I definitely have that. There were moments where like a dog would die in a film and I'd cry. So it's like, of course I have empathy. But I never did. I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy. And I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32 I've acquired empathy. But I have, and I've realized it because I just like can't help myself but like feel for other people's pain and suffering now. I'm still not perfect. I think that is my empathy meter's only maybe like a quarter of the way filled up potentially, but it's at least there. And I just want you guys to know that you can unlock ability empathy if you experience more life. It might take you getting hurt a little bit, but it's worth it. It is so worth it. So thank you for watching, everyone. I do want to create more regular content, and I don't want to just have the next 5 videos be apologies. So I have uploaded a squirrel video on my second channel if you want to watch that. I guess as one final thing, I just want to thank everyone who's given me the space and the compassion to grow as a person, because it's taken longer than it probably should have. I appreciate everyone, and I think most importantly, I appreciate my wife, Anissa. She has been insanely compassionate and helpful and patient in allowing me to grow over the years, and has legitimately encouraged me to be a better person, and not a better person in just like the idubbbz becoming woke kind of way. She was the one who said that I should try this boxing thing. I would have never done that on my own because I was insecure and I was pathetic. I did this and I am so glad I did. It's been amazing. So Anissa, I love you. You're amazing. Right now you're streaming. But bon voyage, toodles.
It just seems like boxing is just changing everybody's lives. I'm like, I need to do a boxing match myself. I'm like, dang, if it has that effect on the person, I'm like, bro, I'm like, sign me up. But anyways, no, that was a good video though. I can watch that video and be like, yeah, I can see the growth in that man. He's changed, all right. So, but anyways, yeah, guys, make sure y'all go subscribe to idubbbz. Show the most amount of love and support. Be greatly appreciated. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.